How's it going, guys? This is Soul Cinched here, and it is finally time. First episode of Battlebots Season 7 is uploading in roughly a month, and they have finally put the full list of competitors on their website. Super excited to check this out. So today, going to go through every single competitor that is in Season 7 and give my thoughts on them. Quick note. They have done a few changes. I believe they've limited this one to 60 competitors. They're trying to make a smaller field. Some pretty big names were rejected for various reasons. I'll get into that in just a second. But one of the biggest things that BattleBots is doing now is they're going to start holding live shows next year. Now, these shows do not have the selection committee in terms of applicants. There's no application. They're going by the old school rules of BattleBots, the Comedy Central era, where all you need to compete in the live shows is to show up with a robot that can pass safety checks, and that's it. I believe they're going to use this as kind of a minor league, and the best ones that are in the live show will have a better shot of making the television show. Before we get into this, though, some of the big names that were rejected were Ice Wave. That one caused a lot of upset, which in a way makes sense because internal combustion engines are kind of obsolete in combat robotics. And the last couple seasons that Ice Wave has competed in, they just haven't done that great. Uppercut was also rejected due to being too damaging to the arena. Deep Six was also rejected for the same reason. Tombstone is also not here this season, mainly due to Ray Billings having some health issues and just needed to step away from the sport. He had a hand injury that he needed surgery on and all that good stuff. And some other big names that aren't here this year, as well as some names from the past that are finally returning. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. Alright, first up is a rookie robot, Banshee, who is a flipper robot. Looks really cool. I'm always down for more flippers. Don't really know a whole lot about this one in particular. But yeah, love the color scheme. So yeah, it's alright in my book. And next up we have Beta, who missed a couple seasons, was here for the 2020 season, wasn't here last year, and they are back. Now, when they last competed in 2020, it was a little rough. Their hammer hit hard, they just barely used it. And they got beat by Ribot in the round of 32. Hopefully things go better for them this year. There aren't that many hammer robots anymore, and even less that are very effective. And Beta, when they use their hammer, it hits hard. So glad to see them back. And next up we have Big Dill, and this is a trend you will start seeing with a lot of control robots returning. They now have a vertical disc. It looks pretty similar to last season's Big Dill, except now they've added a vertical spinner along with their forks. And like I said, that is a trend that we will see continue with some of the other control robots. Black Dragon is back. Looks pretty similar. Love the new paint scheme. Yeah. They hope to see them do well. Blip is returning again this season. And last year, Blip had a very impressive rookie season. I know the team's not a rookie, but the Blip robot is a rookie. It's a crazy, weird flywheel flipper. I love it. It's my absolute favorite flipper. Super glad to see it back. Hope it does well. Bloodsport has returned and looks surprisingly similar to Ice Wave. They did very well last season. They've been improving every season, and they look pretty sharp, and I feel like they have the potential to take the giant nut. Well, Bloodsport is one of my favorite robots. Captain Shredderator is returning. Looks pretty similar to last year's. Had one of its best seasons last year, so hopefully this year it will finally be a legit competitor. Claw Viper is also returning. They don't have any kind of vertical spinner. They are still a 100% control robot. Really quick, really fast, and that's about all I have to say about it. They can win based on their speed and agility as long as they are durable enough. Cobalt is also returning. They were one of the most destructive robots last season. Super glad to see them back. And yeah. Copperhead is also returning. Looks pretty similar to last season. They did very well. They're another robot that I see has a lot of potential to win the giant nut. And Death Roll, who I believe has not competed since 2019 due to the pandemic. They are finally back. They were very deadly in the seasons they competed. Hopefully they're still hitting us hard, but as we've seen before, robots that were once really good, when they step away for a couple seasons and come back, they sometimes struggle to keep up with modern technology. So hopefully they've been able to do that. Either way, glad to see Death Roll back. Love the theming, love the knife, and yeah. And here we have Doom, which is another rookie robot. Kind of seems like Scorpios and Sawblaze with the whole hammer saw type thing going on. Looks pretty basic. Don't really see how this robot was accepted, because to me it just seems like a really basic. I mean, the shape of the robot is different, but they're not really doing anything groundbreaking. But yeah, they are one of the rookies this season. And here we have the robot that I've been dreading, and that's Doomba. Doomba is a meme that people have been hyping up forever. It's, I guess, the new version of Rusty. It has one of Smee's undercutters as its main weapon. In fact, if you go down and look, it's disc spinner horizontal. They don't even list the chainsaw as a weapon, because it's not. That chainsaw, it's just a regular old chainsaw. I saw them testing it. It struggled to cut through aluminum and did absolutely nothing against AR-500. So they're probably not going to do that great, but it's a meme, it's funny, haha, whatever. And I'm also assuming this is an electric chainsaw, because if not, then it would not be allowed due to the exposed fuel tank. But I don't see how they would have anything other than an electric chainsaw. But they're here, they're a meme. Hopefully we get a Doomba versus Rusty, because that's what we need. Another new rookie robot, and that is Double Tap, which looks very strange. Not exactly sure what the idea with this weapon is. It looks like it could be broken very easily, like the ends could just snap off since they're just kind of bolted on. Haven't really done a whole lot of research onto this team to find out what their reasoning behind designing a spinner like this is. Yes, it's innovative, but I just don't see it working out very well, because the more moving parts you have, the more complex a machine is, the more there is to go wrong. But overall, has a very sleek, kind of alienish design. It'll be interesting to see what they can do. And we have another rookie who might be one of my favorite robots, simply because they have treads. I love tracked robots. I love robots with treads. We don't have that many. The last couple seasons, I believe Rusty has been the only robot with treads. But I really love treads. Apart from that, it's just a vertical spinner. Nothing too crazy. But treads. It has treads. And it has a pretty... I think it has a pretty nice color scheme. It has like a kind of like old school 70s theme going on with the dark colors and everything. And in-game, the Kiwis are back. They did very well last year despite getting knocked out in the round of 16 or round of 8. Can't quite remember. But they won the Giant Nut the year before that, had potential to win it last year, and they could definitely win it again this year. They might be the best combat robot out there. Free shipping has returned, and oh my god, what the hell has happened to you? Here is another control robot that has been consumed by the vertical spinner meta. It's a box with forklift fronts at the end that don't look like they can even move at all, and a vertical spinner. Gary Jin, what the hell have you done? You had one of the coolest robots ever, some of the funniest fights, and now you just have a box with a vertical spinner. Why? I hate this. I don't like this, Gary. Give us the old free shipping. I don't care that you lose every fight. We don't care that you lose. We love you, Gary. We love free shipping. This thing we don't love. Fusion has returned. I was under the impression that Fusion was being retired because that's what Team Waiachi always does. After 1 or 2 seasons of a robot not doing great, they just retire them and do away with them. But Fusion is back. It can hit hard when it's working properly. If they have all the bugs ironed out, I could see Fusion winning the Giant Nut. If they have all the bugs worked out. Gigabyte is also returning, one of the best full-body spinners in the game. Don't look too different from last year. So, yeah. They're back. One of the best full-body spinners. Hope to see what they can do. And Glitch, the rookie that shocked the world, is back. They have a very hard-hitting weapon. Struggled a lot with mobility last year. But if they have their mobility problem solved, we could see them win the Giant Nut. Especially if they have the same kind of luck they had their rookie season, they could win the Giant Nut. And Gruff is also returning. I was under the impression that Gruff would be making it. Looks about the same. They're still just a control bot. They didn't fall victim to the vertical spinner meta. So yeah, same old Gruff. See what they can do. Hijinks is returning. Hijinks is another robot with a ton of potential. They have a lot of power in that undercutter. Could do very well. And here we have one of the most interesting rookie robots, and that is Horizon. I've seen some test videos of this robot, as well as some of their smaller version. I forget what weight class they were in, but they had a version of this robot in the lower weight classes, and I've seen it fight. And the way it's supposed to work is the 2 smaller horizontal spinners spin up, and the gyroscopic force created from that, or the centrifugal force, one of the forces created from that causes the entire arm to rotate, which gives more power and everything. The arm was spinning fairly slowly in their test video, which could just mean they weren't using that at full power. But I am skeptical, because those 2 undercutters are very small. They don't look particularly threatening. And like I said earlier, the more parts you have, the more complex it is, the more chances there are for things to go wrong. The more things there are to break, the more things there are to go wrong. And as we've seen in the past with robots like Rex, scaling up a robot from a small weight class doesn't always work out. Because in the ant weights, Rex was an outstanding robot. Scaled up to heavyweight, it was pretty terrible. So I'm definitely interested to see what this thing can do, but I am skeptical of Horizon. Huge! My absolute favorite Battlebot has returned. They've had their struggles. We're on the right track last year, and hopefully everything goes well for them this season. Hopefully it does, because like I said, Huge is one of my favorite robots. I've loved it since its debut back in Season 3, and yeah. And here we have my absolute least favorite robot, Hydra. They're back once again. Hydraulic flipper. Yippee-ki-yay. Best flipper in the game. Blah, blah, blah. I don't like them. So, yeah. Hypershock. The Neon Sharpie robot is back. They did very well last season. They got knocked out by P1 in the round of 32, but they did very well in the Champions Tournament. So yeah, they're another robot with a ton of potential to make a deep run in the tournament or possibly win the Giant Nut. Looking forward to Will Bales and Hypershock this season. Jackpot is back, and they look like they've done some upgrades. Very hard-hitting robot. Had a very good rookie season. Had a pretty good season last year. So yeah, looking forward to what they can do. Kraken is back, and my boy, what has happened to you? Kraken is another robot. Kraken was the only crusher in the field these last few seasons, and they have massacred my boy. Kraken is another one of my favorite robots, one of my favorite crusher, and now I forget what they call the weapon. Kinetic Crusher. I'm assuming that means it's a vertical spinner that has the whole hammer saw type thing. So yeah, it's looking like it's potentially another Scorpio Sawblaze clone. It still looks like Kraken. I don't know if it has any crushing power, but it definitely does look like it could use some control aspects to kind of get underneath the robot, pin them, and just repeatedly drop that vertical disc on them. If everything works out, and if this thing is as durable as the old Kraken, because the old Kraken was damn near indestructible, they could do very well. Lockjaw is back, and it's Lockjaw. Don't really think you need to say anything. Donald Hudson is a legend. Lockjaw is an amazing robot. So we'll see what they can do. Lucky is returning. So we have a few flippers this season, which is always good to see. They did pretty well last year, one of their best seasons they've had, so looking forward to see what they do this year. Mad Catter is back, and they keep one-upping their paint jobs. I really loved the paint job last year. Not as big of a fan of the paint job this year. It's still amazing. It is still really amazing. Whoever painted this is incredibly talented. They've done very well these last couple seasons. Sorry, my throat's a bit scratchy. But they've done very well these last couple seasons. Looking forward to see what they do. But I am not looking forward to seeing this beautiful art be ruined. But yeah, I like the paint job, like last year's better, but it's going to be fun to see what Mad Catter can do. Malice is returning, and they have forks now. That's about the only main difference I see. Still have that big, chunky, horizontal disc thing that packs a huge punch. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what they can do. Mammoth is back again, and it looks even shorter than it did last year. That's a trend I've been noticing with Mammoth. Every year they make it shorter and beefier. Pretty soon we're going to have to stop calling it Mammoth because it's not going to be that gigantic. Yeah, a robot, another one with a ton of potential, really unique rotary flipper weapon. Looking forward to see what they can do. Maybe this year they'll be able to make a good tournament run because they're always right on the cusp of that. They're always right on the cusp of being a legit contender. Hopefully they are there this year. Minotaur, the Brazilian bull, is back. And I'm sure they want vengeance after that quote-unquote controversial fight against a witch doctor. Which I think that fight was kind of BS. I don't see what's so controversial about it. But that's not what we're talking about. Yeah, Minotaur looks like the good old hard-hitting, drum-spinning Minotaur that we all know. Looks like their old team captain is back. So, yeah. Looking forward to it. Monsoon! Heavy-hitting vertical spinner from the UK. Has been absent since the 2019 season, but they are back. Looking forward to see what they can do. I know I keep saying that a lot, but I'm just really looking forward to the new season of Battlebots. And here we have a new robot that looks like Glitch and Hypershock had a baby. It's got Omni wheels. Apparently it's done very well in Europe. Really sharp looking. Vertical spinners always do good. If they don't have mobility problems, they could be very good. And they are from the Netherlands. I thought they were from Germany, but they are from the Netherlands. So, yeah, looking forward to what Ominous can do. And, yeah, really sharp, really clean-looking robot. Overhaul is back once again. Had glimpses of brilliance last season, as well as some not-so-great moments. And always looking forward to seeing what they can do. Always looking forward to seeing this goofball in action. Quantum is back, and it looks feral. I really love this new Quantum. They're another robot that's been gone for a couple seasons, but they are back now, and I really like this new look. Quantum looks absolutely feral, and we still have a Crusher. Quantum was a very good Crusher last time it competed, so hopefully they can be a Crusher that can actually win instead of going to 3 minutes to lose to a judge's decision. Ribot is back and looks a bit more like a frog than it has. It's still a modular robot, and yeah, looks pretty sharp, looks pretty good. Ribot's a very good robot. I can see them going far. It's pizza time. Here we have Ripperoni. We've had a hamburger robot. Now we got the pizza robot. Looks similar to Uppercut. I don't understand it. Look at just look at this. What is this? Why? I don't know. It looks so crazy it might work, but I don't know what this is. I don't like it. It don't look right. It don't look right. That's all I can say about Ripperoni is it just don't look right. It just don't look right. I'm sorry. Riptide. They had a very impressive rookie season. Super energetic captain. Looking forward to see what Riptide can do this season. They did very well their rookie season, and if they've made some improvements, this bot could go very far. Really impressive what they did last year. And Rotator is back once again, as flashy as ever. One of the most durable robots, one of the hardest hitters. Can't wait to see him in action. And here we have the man, the myth, the legend, Dave Eaton, who is back with Rusty Jr., who's not really all that rusty. So how can we call him Rusty when he's not rusty? And he's not shiny, so we can't call him shiny. Maybe we just call him dull. But he's not dull. But this robot's dull. Not rusty, just dull. You can get a little polish up on him. So I'm assuming that this is the Rusty that's been 2 years in the making. I believe it is powered by an internal combustion engine. I know that's what Rusty Jr. last year was supposed to be powered by, but don't know for sure. Probably won't know till he... I mean, I could probably look it up. But, yeah, looks like a squatter, beefier Rusty. And Rusty Sr. did surprisingly well for being a joke robot made out of garbage. So, yeah, Looking forward to Rusty Jr. Hope it still has the tracks, hopefully. Hopefully that hammer hits hard. And yeah, love me some hammer robots. Looking forward to Dave Eaton and Rusty Jr. Sawblaze is back, one of the best robots in the competition. Hopefully they can make a good tournament run. Hopefully they can go all the way to the Giant Nut. I feel like they really deserve it. They're one of the most deserving robots. They have been doing so well these last few seasons. Yeah. Shatter is back, and they've brought back the shiny. Looking as sharp and shiny as ever. One of the best hammer robots in the competition. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having some good weapons besides vertical and horizontal spinners. And here we have Shred It Bro. Yes, that's right. Pain Train is no more. And now we have Shred It Bro. Shred It Bro is a scaled up version of Evan's Beetleweight. And hopefully it does better than Pain Train. I'm assuming that this robot will be a lot better, because last season Pain Train showed glimpses of improvement, and now that Evan has some heavyweight experience under his belt, he knows what he's doing. Now he's got some experience on his side. Looking forward to seeing what this can do. And I really love the blue and white paint scheme. Has a very fun vibe to it, especially like, I don't know why, I just really like these little bumpers. Gives it like almost a toy look, like it looks like a toy RC car. Scorpios is back, and it's Scorpios. Don't think you need to see much else. Very good robot, Tombstone Killer, amazing team behind it. Can't wait to see it. Slammo is back, and it's Slammo. Really dig the blue and red paint scheme on this one. Looks to be another single person team. At least there's only one person in the photo. Not sure what's going on there, but Slammo is back. Has had some good moments, has had some bad luck. Hopefully things go in the right direction for him. Mom, can we have Huge? No, honey, we have Huge at home. And here's the Huge at home. Star Child. Absolutely wicked looking robot. It's got that vertical spinner in the back there. And some people might be asking what this thing is. And if you look at its weapon type, it says Thwackbot, which is a little off-putting because Thwackbots are not allowed at Battlebots. Traditional Thwackbot is seen as a weaponless robot to Battlebots. For those who aren't familiar, Thwackbots are basically robots that have a long stick-like hammer sticking out, and they'll either spin around in place to kind of act as a spinner, or stop and throw it in reverse to kind of throw it over and thwack its opponents. I'm assuming that's exactly what Star Child is going to do. They have that vertical spinner at the back for the sake of having an actual weapon. But I'm assuming how they're going to play it is they'll run up to their opponent, slam it in reverse, which will cause the back end with the spinner to thwack over and hit them. If their strategy and driving is good, this robot could do very well. Still, I'm never going to not refer to this thing as a bootleg Huge, because I am petty. Switchback is back, and they have had one of the biggest glow-ups I have ever seen. They didn't do particularly well last year, but if they've got all the bugs ironed out, I can see them doing decent. I don't ever see this design being a Giant Nut winner, but I'm still interested to see what they can do this year. The robot definitely looks a lot better than last year. And Tantrum, The Giant Nut defending champion is back. They have the punchy disc weapon, assuming they're as hard as a brick as ever. Can't wait to see Tantrum. Can't wait to see if we'll have another defending champ win the Giant Nut like Bite Force has done. And here we have Terratops, which looks like Witch Doctor, but yellow and with a lifter and vertical spinner. Rookie team, kinda, I like the paleontology theme they got going on. Yeah. I like the theme, like the way it looks, but don't know much about it. And here we have Triton. Now, if you remember at the beginning, I said Deep Six was rejected for being too damaging to the arena. So what did this maniac decide to do? Okay, I'll just take Deep Six and flip it on its side. The whole goal behind Deep Six was just have the biggest, scariest vertical weapon you could have. Screw everything else. And that's what Triton is. It is a big, massive horizontal spinner. Screw everything else. People complained about Tombstone not having much defense and just being all offense, but Triton takes that to the next level. You can see there is basically no defense whatsoever. A lot of the internals are exposed, and it looks like it could be a glass cannon. They might do okay as long as in their fights they can constantly keep their weapon pointed at their opponent, but if anyone can get around to their side, it's over. It's done. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what it does, but I am very skeptical of Triton. Valkyrie is back. Valkyrie is another one of my favorites, and I absolutely love their new paint scheme. I really love this look. This might be one of my favorite robots of all time based on its looks. Valkyrie is up there with Huge for being one of my favorite robots. And I really, absolutely love their new look. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And Whiplash is back. They have done very well in previous seasons. They still have the vertical disc as an option, even though they don't use it very often. But yeah, Maddie Vasquez is one of the best drivers in combat robotics. Can't wait to see what they can do. They have a lot of potential to win the Giant Nut. And I know I said that about a few robots, but there is just a lot of very good robots in the field this year. And finally, last but certainly not least, is Witch Doctor. They haven't changed too much. However, I believe they are mainly going with the single disc, as they've had more success with that than the Drisk spinner. And yeah, they have made it to 2 Giant Nuts, lost both. Hopefully they can go very far, and hopefully they can win their first Giant Nut. Witch Doctor is also one of my favorite robots of all time. They're right up there with Huge and Valkyrie and Blip. I would say Blip, Huge, Valkyrie, and Witch Doctor are my 4 favorite robots. So yeah, really looking forward to Witch Doctor and can't wait to see what they do. And that rounds up this field. Rounds up the entirety of the robots competing this season. Really looking forward to this season. A lot of interesting robots. A lot of good hitters. I feel like almost half this field could have the potential to win the Giant Nut. So yeah, cannot wait for the first episode. Like usual, I will be doing my predictions and reviews. I'll upload the prediction video the day before the episode, or as soon as the fight cards come out, and then I'll have my review of the episode out a day or two after the episode. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!